The Major Light Till Dawn is a Warner Brothers cartoon from 1938. This is directed by Frank Tashlin. It's written by Rich Hogan with a rather extensive voice cast, including Mel Blanc, Tommy Bond, Bill Days, Ted Pierce, John Rarig, Thurl Ravenscroft, Max Smith, Paul Taylor, and Danny Webb. And the animation quality is really good, particularly the animals, particularly the elephant. I like the design of the elephant, but there are definitely some awkward depictions here because we have this older character telling this young boy about the times he went hunting in Africa. And as you can imagine, this is a white man talking about hunting in Africa in the 1930s, and I don't think I really need to say any more about the depictions of certain characters in this. It's definitely not the most pleasant watch in that regard, and the animals are definitely a lot more interesting. But at the same time, I don't like stories about hunting, so I didn't particularly care for the story of hunting the animals. So really, there were a lot of things about this that didn't work very well. And the elephant is probably the only thing that I enjoyed. We have a lion as well. The lion is beautifully animated, absolutely no questions there. The animation of the animals, the backdrops, they're all really well done, and I really like those. And I like the fact that we have a story within a story. The narrative structure works really well. It gives us something a little bit extra rather than just making it about this character going hunting. The fact that he's relaying these stories gives it something a little bit more interesting. I honestly don't know if I would recommend it or not because it's not free from problems. There are definitely some issues with some of just actually the whole cartoon, to be perfectly honest. But at the same time, there are some good bits, such as the animals, the backdrops, the colour palette's not too bad. We have a lot of kind of luscious green colours for the trees and the foliage. So that's okay. It's not the worst I've ever seen. But at the same time, it's definitely not amazing. Depending on what you're looking for, it might be okay. For me personally, I didn't really care for it. I also didn't find it to be very funny. The jokes in this just didn't appeal to me. Some of them might appeal to some people, and if that's the case, that's okay. We obviously get the classic Warner Brothers 1930s racial driven jokes, which are never great. But there are some other jokes in there as well, but I didn't find any of them to be that interesting. So for me personally, The Major Light Till Dawn is not a good cartoon. In general, it's not amazing. Some bits might appeal, but personally, I didn't really care for it at all.